referee. Second referee, Ryan Corpus, national referee. First for the Signal HD Spikers. Middle blocker number 2, JP Bugawan. Setter number 3, Owen Suarez. Middle blocker number 7, Rex Intal. Opposite hitter and their team captain number 8, Isay Marasigan. Outside hitter number 10, Wendell Miguel. Outside hitter number 15, Mark Espejo. And their libero number 13, Manuel Sumangi. Head coach for Signal is Dexter Clamor. Let us now meet the starters for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Outside hitter number 1, Joshua Umandal. Setter number 5, EJ Casanya. Middle blocker number 13, Roniel Rosales. Middle blocker number 15, Peter Kiel. Middle blocker and their team captain number 16, Greg Dolor. Outside hitter number 20, Christian Marcelino. And their libero number 3, Jack Kalingking. Head coach for the Navy is Cecil Cruzad.
And we are set to begin this match between the Signal HD Spikers and the Navy Sea Lions against Signal. You take a look at their starting lineup. The usual players that they have, except for from the last game, no, it was Rex Intal coming off this lineup. Papalitan niya ngayon si Peter Torres, of course, who played as a starter in that win against VNS. Lipat naman tayo sa kabila for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. This is what Coach Cecil Cruzad has gone to, except for Marcelino, who also came off the bench in their last game. So we are set to begin here inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. Dip DiBianco and Neil Flores calling this match on One Sports and on One Sports Plus. The HE Spikers in white, and ito namang Navy Sea Lions in their gray jerseys, trying to be the first team to put a mark on the record of Signal, who has not dropped a set this entire tournament, Neil.
And right now, they're still looking for that connection between the setters and attackers. Nakita natin in some other games, Jewel Asia will start up for the HD Spikers. This time, it's Owen Suarez. And for the Sea Lions of the Philippine Navy, they will be losing the services of De La Vega because he went down in their previous game. And I think he sustained an ankle injury. So I don't have any updates pa kung makakalaro siya. But let's see.
Medyo mabigat yun on the part of Navy Sea Lions. Of course, we know that De La Vega is really part of their rotation dito sa Open Conference. Meanwhile, Signal gets 2 quick points. That one courtesy of JP Bugawan.
JP Bugawan, one of the go-to guys in that middle blocker position for Signal HD. No connection problems there.
Intal serving. Kiel is blocked. Casania will back set it. Check there by the blockers of Signal. They try to go quick to Bugawan, does not work. Navy looking for their first point. Marcelino popped up by Miguel. Here's Marasigan. Ooh, medyo bitin.
Yeah, too soft on the hit. But as a player, we know that Isay Marasigan always makes up for his mistakes. Marcelino has to work double time dahil siya yung kapalitan ngayon ni Joven De La Vega in that opposite hitter position.
And Espejo wisely sends that softly in front of Casania.
So far, he's just keeping it simple here in the first set. I was able to talk to Jao Mandal a while ago to ask kung ano yung game plan nila against a solid Signal team. Pressure blocking will be the key to victory for Philippine Navy. Actually, it's going to be the same also for Signal HD, and we know that the HD Spikers are very systematic every time they set up their double or three-man blocks. So that's something na kailangan i-work around ng Philippine Navy.
And it's really gonna be tough, Neil, kung hindi magkakaroon ng blocking yung kalaban ng Signal HD Spikers, because you all know that the attackers of Signal are of a high caliber.
And one thing's for sure, when you are delayed in that block against Mark Espejo, he would have a higher percentage in scoring the point.
Captain Isay Marisigan with a serve. Umandal. And that's good para sa Sea Lions.
You can see how one person can make all the difference. Nung pumasok itong si Jao Mandal for PGJC Navy, it already seemed like ang tagal niya ng teammates, yung mga players on the floor. To be able to score 29 points in 4 sets,
That's a lot.
that is a lot.
Chance once again for Signal. Suarez to Miguel off the block, and he scores.
And that's the distribution that we've been talking about in the pregame, na there's no more one person na talagang nakakakuha ng pinaka-marami in terms of discrepancy dun sa points.
3-point lead now for Signal. And an ace para kay Mark Espejo. Gives them a 4-point cushion.
Early lead for Signal HD. And yan din yung ginawa nila against VNS1 Alicia. Although they only had 3 service aces in that game, there were a lot of rallies, a lot of sequences na kahit na hindi direct ace, they took VNS out of system.
Mabigat na kasi yung palo early on. Meanwhile, a clean attack from Greg Dolor. And that could pump up his team as they have only reached 3 points so far in the opening set. He heads to the service line. 3 serving 6. Suarez the quick to Bugawan.
Mainit-init pa yun.
I think it's that type of set and that type of attack is just impossible to stop for JP Bugawan.
And usually he hits at 60 to 70% efficiency in that simple play. Quick lang yun, but every time he gets that elevation, you can certainly say that it's going to be a kill.
Mandal wants to answer back, and he does so.
And that's a smart hit from Jao Mandal, identifying the shortest blocker in that 3-man block of the HD Spikers, getting it off the hands of Suarez. Itong dalawang setter, they have to be able to block well.
Yeah.
Kasi out of all of the blockers on the floor for both teams, sila yung short in terms of height. So sila yung magiging main targets ng mga left wings.
And Marcelino gets that point. That's back-to-back for the Navy Sea Lions to cut the lead down to 2. Zumandal heads back to the service line. Good first ball by Espejo. Miguel puts it away. And we reach the first technical timeout. Signal up by 3 points against the Navy Sea Lions.
This game due to his ankle sprain, but head coach Cecil still knows how motivated her squad as team manager Ping is present with us here in the Paco Arena, and Miss Ping actually mentioned to me that the team will be getting a big bonus today and a potential boys night out if they do come out victorious. And lastly, Jao Umandal can't wait to step up today as well, at sabi niya sa akin na yung secret niya in the last game ay nagbuhat siya before the match, and guess what? Before today's game, nagbuhat din siya. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. Kaya naman pala binuhat din niya yung team niya in that game. Buhat pala yung ginagawa niya before each match. But talking about that report, no, it's a good incentive. Yun yung gusto mong motivation to be able to match up against a powerful team like Signal. And hopefully, and that's what they're hoping for in team manager ng Navy, makaisa itong si Lions.
And iba na rin pag usapang bonus for any athlete, for sure. So that's an additional motivation for PGJC Navy.
Right now, it's Signal still up by 3 points, 9 serving 6. Casania sets up Dolor. Miguel was there to pop it up. Espejo just easily sends that over. Umandal picks it up. Dolor sets it up. Marcelino. And that's going to be a net violation. And Isay Marasigan looks like he was hurt on that play. Not what we want to see in this match. Of course, after just hearing that injury report on De La Vega, we see now Isay Marasigan potentially having the same problem of an ankle sprain. See this one again.
Oh, it looks like he stepped on a foot
of a teammate. Is that it?
Let's check this again. Oh no, he didn't step on any foot. Talagang natapilok lang siya on his way down.
So that was his right foot. He heads to the bench. Let's see how his teammates will fare here. Espejo gets a point off the block.
And look at the substitution for the HD Spikers. It's Edward Camposano. So wala namang pagbabago dun sa magiging rotation ng Signal.
That's how deep the lineup of Signal is. They can go to their bench and still have the same quality of play. Meanwhile, service error ang ibibigay ni Rex Ental. So Navy sticking close here, just down by 2 points. Marcelino will serve. And he gets that ace.
That's the responsibility of the left wing. So that should have been Mark Espejo's ball to get.
Navy Sea Lions looking to tie this game up. Better receive this time. And they find Bugawan at the middle.
Great adjustment. Not the best of receives. It was short. But Suarez still found a way to set that ball up for JP Bugawan. And since he is a high leaper, hindi man makuha yung perfect timing ng set, he will still find a way to push that ball over.
Nakaka-adjust pa rin ito si JP Bugawan. Umandal sends that short. And that's back-to-back points now para sa Signal HG Spikers.
Yun naman ang game plan ng Signal HD to limit the scoring output of Jao Umandal.
Edward Camposano will now serve. Coming off the bench, had to replace the injured Isay Marasigan. Suarez upset. Espejo is blocked. Another chance here for the HG Spikers. Oh, regalo para kay Bugawan.
And that was a wasted free ball really from the side of PGJC Navy.
May pabaon pang kindat ito si JP Bugawan.
I think former teammate siya ni Peter Kiel.
That's right.
On the side of Navy. So friendly banter from both of these teams so far.
Former FEU Tamaraos. And Signal cruising on and building on this 5-point lead against the Sea Lions, who have yet to hit the double-digit mark. So far, early on in this first set, Neil, no, parang yung blocking na sinasabi mo that will be crucial for Navy, hindi pa masyado na-activate against Signal.
Yeah, and that's what Signal's doing. They're forcing Jao Mandal to commit those mistakes on the attacks. When you are faced with a 3-man block over and over again, talagang mape-pressure ka on how to squeeze it through.
Early timeout called here by the Sea Lions. That's a sin.
Relax lang daw, relax lang.
Relax lang, na-pressure mo. So, nagmamadali na to ah.
Record tayo, boss. Record tayo. Isang pasa, tapos atake tayo, tapos block tayo. Ingay tayo, ingay. Pabadiinit, pabadi. Meron na. Let's go!
So timeout called by Coach Cecil Cruzad just to regroup itong Navy Sea Lions. And we were mentioning, no, they're trying to limit Jao Mandal. And obviously, Neil, ganun kasi yun, di ba? Siyempre, when you're coming off one of your best games, obviously, ikaw yung man that is marked by the opponent. And that's what they did in that in the early goings of this set. Pero nakisa dito ang Sea Lions.
And I like that timeout. Magandang observation ng head coach ng PGJC Navy. She was instructing Jao Mandal to hit it high. Kasi nga, ibabaw naman siya every time Suarez is in the front line for Signal. So if he hits it high and he hits it long, that's the time na makakuha siya ng proper range.
Suarez sets it up, and it is returned back by the Sea Lions. That's Rosales para sa Sea Lions. Suarez goes to Bukawan once again, and that has been ultra efficient in this game so far.
And that quick play, they're just cashing that in right now. Talking about the Signal HD Spikers, zero tempo, right on point. Nakatalo na si Bukawan, patalon pa lang yung middle blocker ng Navy, and that will really be a point for Signal.
Service error though para kay Mark Espejo. Gives another free point for the Navy Sea Lions.
Signal gave up 31 errors in that game against VNS. Madami yon for a straight set victory.
Mas marami pa sila na-commit na error, no, against VNS, despite winning that one. Free ball given up to Navy. Oh, Navy able to get that across, but another save by the HD Spikers. The running attack from Rosales, still good, says our first referee. The long rally we have so far, still alive. It's back with the Sea Lions. This time Umandal will put it away.
What a cannon of a hit from Jao Mandal. Early years ni Umandal, hindi mo pa makikita yung sharp cross-court angle na yan eh, because I've seen him play from his high school days, then college, but now he has developed that skill and has polished that skill so much here in the Spikers turf.
Suarez upset again, mistimed with Espejo. Umandal trying to go back-to-back, and Signal unable to save it. Timeout will be called here by the Signal HD Spikers. Coach Dexter Glamour will want to talk things over.
Hey, listen. Listen. Hindi pa naman nahuhuli. O makinig mo, Yuki. Maganda naman yung pasa, hindi pa nahuhuli. Bakit mo binabago right away? Na-block na ba? Hindi pa. So bakit natin babaguhin? Di ba ilang beses? Meron siyang hindi lang napalo, tapos mawawalan ka na ng gana hindi magbigay sa kanya. Di ba? Focus muna tayo, may pasa eh. So, B muna tayo. Tama, hindi tayo nagko-connect sa 5. Ha?
Guys,
Timeout there by the Signal HD Spikers. And we take a look at what happened in the previous play bago yung timeout na yun. Sensing some urgency. Itong head coach ng Signal na si Coach Dexter Glamour. And the captain, Greg Dolor, will serve for the Sea Lions. Suarez ups it. And that is rejected by Umandal.
Now we are at 15 all. Navy successful in erasing that lead established by the HD Spikers.
Navy Sea Lions looking to have a taste of the lead for the first time in this match. And they do so with that service ace mula kay Greg Dolor. And we reach the second technical timeout. It's the PGJC Navy Sea Lions up by a point against the Signal HD Spikers.
Tayo magbabago. Di ba yun yung game plan natin? Toy? Di ba? Ano sabi ko doon? Katapos ko magka-time out. Pag misreceive sa mo set sa open kasi maliit yung setter. Again, presence of mind. Presence of mind. Hindi yan. Bigla ka nag-misreceive. Sistema natin pag ito receive, open eh. Lalo na maliit yung blocker nito. Okay, o regroup. Tapos na. Isa lang naman lamang nila. Let's go.
Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center in Manila, and the PGJC Navy Sea Lions are now up by a point against the Signal HD Spikers. We have an update on the injury of Isay Marasigan mula kay Ayana Perlas. Ayana?
Yes, just an update on Isay Marasigan, captain of Signal. We all saw what happened to him earlier in this set, and apparently nagulat lang daw yung ankle niya, and they just needed to tape it extra, and he's all good to go, and we'll be seeing action in this game. Oh, perfect timing. Back to you guys.
And just as Ayana was reporting, itong injury ni Isay Marasigan, right on cue, he is back on the floor for the Signal HD Spikers. It was a good start for them, Neil, no? But napansin natin, of course, with that injury early on, medyo nag-iba yung composition, na bigla siguro din yung teammates niya. But he's back, and let's see how his team will fare in the latter part of this opening set. Suarez. This time, Navy with a chance to attack. Umandal off the block, and he scores.
Jao Umandal just carrying the heavy load for Navy and attacking. They're now up by 2 points. And you can see the pace of Signal right now. They're trying to go for those fast-paced sets. Pero sa sobrang baba at bilis ng mga sets, hindi rin nila napapalo. So they have to be able to adjust their tempo accordingly. Kasi right now, Navy is playing very simple volleyball, going to the left pin. And finally, Signal HD cutting the momentum of Navy.
And it's none other than JP Bugawan who went for that attack. So it's back to a 1-point lead for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Bugawan heads to the back row as he serves 16-17. Ooh, what an attack mula kay Greg Dolor. This one again. Setup job mula kay EJ Casanyo, and then Dolor does the rest. We have a sub para sa Signal HD Spikers. Edmar Bonono checks in para kay Wendell Miguel. Signal trying to change things up. And works to their favor. Medyo na-delay itong service, which led to an error para kay Umandal.
The Navy Sea Lions are already successful in keeping it close. They were able to get a 2-point lead, but wala yung 2-point lead na yon. And for Signal, they just need to maximize the rotation every time na nasa likod si Jao Mandal, because that's the time that they can score most of the points and defend properly against the attackers of Navy.
Yawa pa ng net yung serve na yun ni Suarez. This time it is long. Is that really a tendency, Neil, for a player? Of course, syempre yung nakarang serve mo, tumama sa net. So you'd think, medyo mahina na. So this time, lalakasan ko naman.
Yeah. Masyado rin mababa yung toss dun sa first serve niya na yon. And the fact that he was still able to score an ace, parang mas nagkakaroon pa rin ng confidence, na lakasan.
Marcelino was not able to get to that ball.
That was a tough set from the back row.
And our score now is 19-all, just as we expected. At the top of the coverage, we were seeing these two teams.
This is a great sign for the Sea Lions because they're one man down. Joven De La Vega, sabi nga ng head coach na, is one of the top scorers of this team, and to be able to keep the score close against the undefeated Signal HD says a lot about how they prepared for this.
And also credit to Marcelino, who has done a decent job as his replacement. That is wide para kay Greg Dolor.
Now the lead will shift back to the HD Spikers.
But that was Umandal rather with the attack. And the lead is back with the Signal HD Spikers. They have reached the 20-point mark. Edmar Bonono will serve. Good one. Marcelino scores off the block.
Great hit out from Marcelino again against a a three-man block established by the HD Spikers.
20-all here in the opening set.
Now you can already see the shift in the gameplay of Signal. They're targeting Jao Mandal on the service line. Kanina, hindi pa nila masyadong nahanap si Umandal dyan. But if they are successful in pressuring Jao to commit mistakes on the receiving end of things, that can snowball to the attacking department because of frustration.
Tsaka na-eliminate mo na yung first option nila, early on. Kasanya, pero masyadong malapit sa net.
But he hit that net. Actually, I was anticipating a sure point for the Sea Lions already. Pero masyadong pinaggigilan ni Greg Dolor.
Lapit na rin niya, Clearly a violation, and now a 2-point lead for Signal. Dolor wanted to answer back, but no, says Marasigan. And timeout will be called by the Navy Sea Lions. Let's take a look at this one. Kasanya knew that Dolor wanted to get that point back, but Isay Marasigan had other plans in mind. Let's listen into this timeout.
Kung hindi tayo magtulungan dyan, hindi tayo makaano dyan. Ha? Kung may magpa-block, mag-coverage. Ha?
Let's go, Fred. Yan yung magandang pasa, tapos habol yan. One stop lang, boss. Tapos block tayo.
Pag mapatay nyo yan, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Patayin natin ngayon, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Tara!
Let's go, Navy! Let's go, Fred.
One good stop, that's all that they need right now.
This one, the last play, the clean block mula sa Signal HD Spikers. Isay Marasigan getting that point. And right now, Signal is just 2 points away from taking the opening set and still preventing anyone to get one set against them, and an ace para kay Rex Ental.
Greg Dolor was already preparing for his approach on the attack, but I think he forgot that the first responsibility of every outside hitter is to receive first. Unless napag-usapan yun na, huwag ka nang kumuha ng first ball, kami na bahala.
This time around, they get that one. Chance here for Signal to take set number 1. Espejo with a cut shot. And he knew where to put that ball exactly. to give Signal HE Spikers this first set win. 25-20 against the Navy Sea Lions. The scramble here for Signal, 2 bodies down. And Espejo does the rest as they take this one against the Navy Sea Lions, 25-20. We'll be back with set number 2 here on One Sports.
Hi, I'm Manuel Sumanggid III, libero of the Signal HE Spikers. This is Spikers Turf Match Point. I think the Navy Sea Lions kasi most of the core players of that team, teammates ko nung national team last 2021. Well, unang-una syempre ang Phenom, Mark Espejo. Matagal ko na siya naging teammate since college and I'm very pleased to get all his spikes. Probably si Joshua Retamar. Iba rin kasi yung libero-setter connection and I really want to maximize that big setter like Joshua Retamar of the NU Bulldogs.
Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center in Manila, we just ended set number 1. It was the Signal HE Spikers scoring 5 straight points against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. We are at 20 all at one point, and then they found their rhythm towards the latter part of set number 1, Neil.
And despite a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to the connection of the setter and attackers, Signal still had a lot of attack points in set number 1. In that last sequence before we ended that set, nakita natin yung adjustment na ginawa ni Mark Espejo. Wala pa tayo masyado nakikitang mga powerful hits from his end, but he's very successful in identifying the open spaces in the backcourt or yung mga nasa sidelines ng Navy. And for Navy, it has been Joshua Omandal again carrying the load for the Sea Lions with the support of Greg Dolor. But two players cannot win games. Kailangan talaga mag-step up in terms of production yung mga middle blockers ng Navy.
And these are the highlights in that set number 1. We will see the numbers in just a bit. You mentioned, Neil, di pa masyado nakuha yung connection between the setters and the attackers. But what worked well for Signal in that opening set as you take a look at the numbers?
Well, the fact that they were able to activate JP Bugawan a lot, that gave them that advantage from that position. They had 3 attacks more compared to Navy, and they still got one more ace.
And that gave them the set 1 win against the Navy Sea Lions. We are set to begin set number 2 here on One Sports. Dip Dipianco and Neil Flores calling this match. First point goes to the Sea Lions.
And EJ Casanya immediately activating Kiel on this first point for the Sea Lions.
Marcelino again, the man tasked to step up. Sa posisyon nito si Joven de la Vega. That attack was flat, but it almost actually hit the line. Pero outside, says our linesman.
PGJC Navy getting an early 2-point lead here in the second frame. And they know na kaya naman nila lumamang against the HD Spikers. But getting a lead and maintaining it are two different things in a ball game.
This time around, the attack is wide para kay Greg Dolor. But you're right, Neil, no? May isang point dun sa set number 1 na naka-abante itong PGJC. What do you think can be a crucial X factor pa siguro dito? Because we know na wala si Joven de la Vega. And we all know that Umandal will be their go-to along with Greg Dolor. Who do you see as possibly their third man in terms of scoring dito sa Navy Sea Lions?
That man on your screen kanina, Peter Kiel, getting back-to-back points on that same play. And yun yung kailangan na diskarte ng isang EJ Casania because without Joven de la Vega in the fold, definitely mas magiging predictable kung kanino niya ibibigay. Kasi sometimes setters would base it off the efficiency of their attackers and the fact na nawala na yung unang top scorer mo, dalawa na lang yung matitira. It's gonna be Greg Dolor and Jao Mandal. So he really has to get Rosales and Kiel involved and that's what he did. That's what he's doing rather so far here in set number 2.
It's a matter of variation, no? Parang hindi mabasa ng signal that easily kung saan pupunta itong si EJ Casania. But so far, the Sea Lions are up by 2 points here in set number 2. Rex Intal had the service ace a while ago. Casania back sets it to Rosales, and that's what we were saying. Other guys can score as well para sa Sea Lions.
Three of the points actually came from their middle blockers out of this 5.
So good sign yan para sa PGJC Navy in terms of involving the middle blockers in scoring, hindi lang yung outside hitters nila. Espejo finds that one in the middle.
Now, Mark slowly but surely injecting more power into his attacks. And once mahanap talaga nung signal yung connection nila with the new setters, they're gonna be a deadly team.
You're right, no? Kaka-join lang na tong setters nila like Owen Suarez and Jewel Asia. Espejo sent back to Signal. Free ball given up to Navy. Casania sends it to Umandal, and he will get that point.
Jao Mandal again taking advantage of the seam between Bugawan and Suarez on that double block to get that 6th point for the Navy Sea Lions.
Jao Mandal with 6 points so far in this match. That is way out para kay Espejo.
Yeah, he was way under the ball, no spin whatsoever in that last sequence. Now it's a 4-point lead for the Sea Lions. Magandang cushion ito against Signal HD pero wala pa tayo sa midpoint of the second set.
Right.
So they have to continue what they're doing.
Casania goes for the attack and he scores. And we reach the first technical timeout, 8-3 in favor of the Sea Lions. Inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center in Manila, it is the Navy Sea Lions now ahead against the Signal HD Spikers, 8-3 here in this set number 2. And we have this report mula kay Ayana Perlas. Ayana?
The undefeated Signal HD Spikers know that this is not going to be an easy match. Now, before the game, I was able to talk to Captain Isay Marasigan and sabi niya, alam niya talaga na magiging mahirap na kalaban ang Sea Lions. Now, due to this, they had a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes, especially in their blocks and defensive patterns because of Navy's known spring spikes that Signal still has to adjust to. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. So far, the Navy Sea Lions are enjoying a 6-point advantage. It's 9 serving 3 right now in favor of the Sea Lions.
Double contact violation definitely from EJ Casanya. Now even the blocking of Navy being activated here in set number 2, and that was against JP Bugawan nonetheless.
So still a 5-point lead for the Navy Sea Lions. Nung hinahabol ng Signal, Espejo with another service error. Had a couple of those in the first set, but alam kasi natin na si Espejo will not take it lightly. No, high risk, high reward parate.
He will always go all out on the serves.
Suarez sends it to Bonono, and that's a free point given up to Marcelino.
Now this is a big 7-point lead, and that's what you want to see dito sa Sea Lions. Not afraid of the rotation shifts na nanggagaling sa Signal HD. You would assume that every time they shuffle their players, mag-iiba yung strategy nila. But right now, nababasa ng Navy kung ano yung ginagawa ng Signal HD. But Bonono will get that point for Signal.
Point needed badly by the AG Spikers in the early goings of set number 2. So the 6-point lead for the Sea Lions, itong hinahabol ng Signal. And that will be a point for Signal, 4 touches.
And kaya na din nagballoon itong kalamangan ng Navy is that because nahihirapan yung Signal to get that first pass properly papunta sa setter nila.
Bugawan again to serve. Good serve there. Marcelino with the attack and the point. PJ Casanya will be the one to serve. 12-6 here in set number 2. Suarez upset Marasigan, popped up by Kalingking.
Lifting violation will be called on Jao Mandal. Masyadong matagal yung bola sa kamay niya.
Parang nag-hesitate din siya, no? He wanted to go underhand at first.
And he wanted to go for that short ball. That's why mas mahina yung pressure on the ball.
Good dig there. That was Sandy Montero with a nice dig, but double contact called here on the part of Signal.
This is the lowest attacking set so far for Signal. 2 out of 12, that's just 17% on the conversion compared to the 78% of the Philippine Navy.
Service error para sa Navy Sea Lions. Bonono has been playing extended minutes off the bench para kay Coach Dexter and has provided a couple of points. Umandal is blocked, kept alive here. Free ball ang ibibigay sa Signal. Suarez.
Net violation called on one of the blockers of the Sea Lions. At ito na naman yung run ng Signal HD.
Parang no lead is safe here in in the sport of volleyball, Neil. And you know, in men's, they can have yung mga ganitong klaseng runs, di ba? Kahit malaki na yung agwat, eh. And Peter Kiel finds that spot at the corner.
He has been unchecked so far here in set number 2. And that play from the middle has been doing wonders for EJ Casanya.
Suarez goes for the quick to Intal. Not the cleanest of sets there. This time back to him, and they score on the second time around.
Better set on the second try. The first set again was too low for the middle blocker of Signal. That signature Rex Intal, he wouldn't look at the angle kung saan siya pupunta.
Medyo nakatagilid pa yung katawan niya, no? Not really facing the other side of the court. Umandal puts it away.
And this is where 3-man blocks will kick in. You know that the left wing spiker of Navy is very strong every time he tries to target that sharp cross-court angle. If Mark Espejo was there to block that specific angle, that could have resulted to a point for Signal HD. So maganda rin yung ginawa ng recognition ni Jao na nakita niya hindi nakasabay si Mark on the block. Babalik ako dito sa sharp cross-court.
Easily picked up there by Dolor. Running attack mula kay Rosales, and that works. And we reach the second technical timeout. Navy Sea Lions with a 6-point lead over the Signal HE Spikers.
Transition na dinidepensahan natin. Makinig. Sayang yung transition na dinidepensahan natin tapos hindi natin, maganda yung depensa pero hindi natin nabibigay into points. What happened? Kasi nagmamadali tayo. Relax ka lang. Ha? Pag relax ka, maayos yung bigay mo ng bola, madali sila makapatay. Ngayon, pinamadali mo, nakakalog yung bola.
Enjoy lang tayo.
Sige, bigay mo ulit dito pag maganda. Pero minsan, tingin ka rin. Pag dumiti kita dito, o pwede mo naman dito sa kabila. Ha? Nawala na kasi yung 8 natin na sistema.
Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. This was the last play courtesy of the connection between Casanya and Rosales to give Navy a 6-point lead.
Signal system nowhere to be found here in set number 2. They only have 3 attack points. Navy already is at double digits. They already have 10.
Service error on the part of Greg Dolor. And a free point given up to the Signal HE Spikers. Subs coming in para kay Coach Dexter to change things up. Change in setter as Asia checks in. Camposano is back in the game to replace Isay Marasigan. With this 5-point lead of the Navy Sea Lions, Neil, did they do something different compared to set number 1 or talaga na-establish lang nila yung offense nila this time?
Set number 1, most of their attacks came from the left and right wings. Right now, EJ Casanya has been going to a lot of different attacks from the middle. We saw the A-quick play from Peter Kiel, short and long slides from Rosales, and yun yung biggest difference compared to that first frame. And we know that Signal, sabi ko nga kanina, very systematic when it comes to blocking. But right now, they're giving up a lot of attempts on the block. Walang tumatalon dun sa mga slide attacks, or sometimes single block lang yun i-establish nila.
Although the service errors of Navy keeping Signal within distance. This time, Wendell Miguel will check back in as he replaces Mark Espejo. Trying to find the right combination para sa Signal HE Spikers. is 12 serving, 17 here in set number 2. Casania to Marcelino, and that's a point down the line.
Even Marcelino is having a field day in that position.
That's what you like, no? For this team to have guys who are ready to step up.
Yeah.
We all know the caliber of Navy and members of the national team. Pero when one of them goes down, you'll have to rely on other players, and that's what Marcelino is doing. But Bugawan gets another point for Signal. Relatively more quiet here in set number 2, but we know what he can do.
Papalit ng setter si Coach Dexter. Jewel Asia in. Connecting immediately with JP Bugawan.
Casania back sets it. Dug up there by Bugawan. It's back with Signal after a miscue. And Bonono will score.
This is a good double substitution made by Coach Dex. Jewel Asia setting well in the last few sequences.
So slowly, Signal HE Spikers trying to trim the lead of the Navy Sea Lions. Casania, the combination play, and another point para kay Marcelino. So every time Signal looks like they're gonna have a run of their own, Navy answering right back.
High ball from Bonono. Oh,
Look at Marcelino. He came to play here in this match against Signal.
in between the double block of Camposano and Rex Intal.
And they reach the 20-point mark here in set number 2. Asia upset to Intal. Kalingking to Dolor, does not work. Camposano puts it away. No, that's wide.
Too much angle on that down the line hit. So babalik si Coach Dex sa kanyang starting rotation.
So this is now the biggest lead of the Navy Sea Lions at 7 points. So correction on the score. Oh, we're just fixing the official score here in this match. So it's going to be 21 serving 14. And an error para kay EJ Casania. Medyo nanlamig na siya dun while waiting for the whistle.
Navy has to close this out already. They're already near that 25-point mark. And if you give any space for Signal to establish their own momentum, you might just lose your lead.
Montero able to save that ball. It's back with the Sea Lions. Combination play.
Amazing play from EJ Casania, and that's what you get when you get to establish your middle blockers as a threat. Greg Dolor just alone up top for that hammer.
See this one again, Casania. And out of nowhere, Greg Dolor puts it away, gets the high five from their head coach Cecil Cruzad as we listen in to this timeout of Signal.
Sige, balik ka lang natin dito yung pins natin, ha? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go! Let's go! Hey, Signal! Signal!
Coach Dexter Clamor trying to salvage this set. They're down by 7 points. Take a look at this one. No blocker present after they were fooled by the fake of Peter Kiel, and then Greg Dolor makes sure of that point.
EJ Casanya was just waiting for that perfect moment to go to that combination play from the middle. And that was the perfect time, really.
Suarez back sets it, and Bonono gets another one. And Mark Espejo is set to check in.
Mark has been erratic so far also in this game against the Sea Lions. We know that he's one of the best receivers on the floor for Signal, but so far medyo china-challenge siya.
Yeah. And then the service errors also, no, nakita natin yun early on. No touch, says the referee, and that is out for the Sea Lions. And Coach Cecil wants to make sure, no, they're only 3 points away from getting set number 2, but they have to be wary of the Signal HC Spikers.
Trabaho tayo sa tatlo na yan. Walang mag-relax. Ago pa rin tayo. Kunin natin yan, no?
Walang bibitaw, last 3 tayo.
Walang bibitaw, ah.
Sige. Pre, 1, 2, 3. Dulo na naman, no?
Magraning ka kaya. Magraning ka. Bumalik ka rin. Magbabackway ka ko. Pwede rin. Ha? Sige, magraning ka. Sige. Tugoy natin.
Doon, sa pasa muna, sa pasa. Para play tayo.
1, 2, 3, pre.
Timeout called there by the Navy Sea Lions, as they are 3 points away from getting set number 2 and tying this one up. But we all know what Signal is capable of. And Edmar Bonono, the guy off the bench, will serve para sa HD Spikers. Umandal, cross-court attack. And it will be a point for the Navy Sea Lions.
There was definitely a net touch, but di ko lang sigurado kung nauna bang lumapag yung bola before that net touch happened, but it was right in front of the second referee. That will still be a valid call.
Take a look at it once again. Replay here. A point goes to the Sea Lions nonetheless. And this time, Signal gets a point back.
That violation also called on Umandal. Now Signal will try to come back using Bugawan, Espejo, and Marasigan in the front row.
Umandal goes down the line, and Suarez was not prepared.
Jao Umandal facing right, hitting left.
The Navy Sea Lions are now at set point. Oh, but Dolor sends that short, delaying this for the Sea Lions. Five points ang hinahabol ng HG Spikers here in set number 2. And the captain, Isay Marasigan, is the man tasked to serve flawlessly here. And as I say that, he sends that out. And the PGJC Navy Sea Lions will equalize this match. They take one set here against the HG Spikers, 25-19.
I'm Jack Kalingking, 26 years old, libero, PGJC Navy. Ang valuable sa akin is malaking tulong na nabigay sa akin kasi unang-una nakapag-aral ako ng libre at nakatulong sa mga magulang ko. Sobrang saya kasi bira lang nakakalaro dito sa Spikers Turf kaya sobrang nakakatuwa. Hi to all fans of Philippine Navy, please support PGJC Navy.
Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center and the PGJC Navy Sea Lions tying this one up, taking a set away against the Signal HG Spikers. And what was an easy run for them in set number 2. They started off hot and even led by as many as 7 points against the Signal HG Spikers. As we take a look at the highlights in set number 2, EJ Casania was able to activate his middle blockers. Rosales was there for the attacks, and he also had Peter Kiel, but the powerful hits of Greg Dolor and Marcelino did the damage for the Navy Sea Lions.
And doesn't matter if they're one man down, talking about the Sea Lions, the distribution of EJ Casania in set number 2 was just impeccable. That's why for Signal here in set number 3, babalasa ulit sila and try to find a better rotation on their fold. And the Sea Lions was successful in breaking the system of Signal HD. They got a lot of good serves in. They had a lot of attacks and combination plays. And look at that, they have 10 attack points more compared to Signal HD. Yan ay pinakamababang attacking output na nakita ko so far in the preliminary round for the HD Spikers.
Nakadami pa ng errors itong Navy Sea Lions, but again, the attacks were just too much against the HD Spikers. And we are set to begin set number 3 between Signal and Navy, and new faces on the floor for the HD Spikers. Chumason and Jigha will be starting this third set. Sent back there by Navy. Inangat kay Espejo. Picked up by Mandal. Marcelino gets the first point.
Marcelino just always identifies that seam between the blockers of Signal HD. And as you said, Chumason and Jiga right in for the very first time for Signal HD. In set number 2, Signal only had a 27% efficiency in attacking. 7 out of 26 attempts.
Wow.
Compared to the 59% of the Philippine Navy.
That is uncharacteristic for the Signal HG Spikers. And an error for Injiga. So a 1-point lead para sa Sea Lions. Seven out of 26 for the number 1 team in terms of spiking. What a dig mula kay Kalingking. Montero does the same. Bit of a long rally we have so far. Marasigan. Medyo nanggigil dun. Gusto nang tapusin yung rally.
And we already knew that he was going for that type of attack. Na gusto lang mapatama dun sa kamay ng blockers.
Espejo is rejected. And that's another point para sa Sea Lions, who now have a 3-point lead over Signal.
So far, Navy is just sticking to their game plan, pressuring the top scorers of Signal to commit these mistakes. Masyado mababa yung clearance ni Mark Espejo on that one.
Free ball given up. Casania sends it to Umandal. The tip does not work. Marcelino receives there. Kalingking again, ups it. And it's still alive. And an error for Mark Espejo as he falls to the floor in dismay.
You can definitely see the frustration in his face after getting a few powerful hits past the blocking of Navy. Nakaabang naman doon si Jacqueline King.
Let's see if Signal can get a point back. Yes, they do. And they go to JP Bugawan, who's been a bright spot for them since the opening set.
Well, they were former teammates in college, so siguro silang dalawa na pinaka magkiklik when it comes to transition plays.
Kumbaga may na-build ng connection between these two players. But the errors of Isay Marasigan and the rest of the HG Spikers will not help their cause. They go back set. Marasigan puts that out.
More errors coming in the side of the Signal HD Spikers to start set number 3. At patuloy yung pambabalasa ni Coach Dexter.
Hinahanap niya yung tamang kombinasyon no, Neil?
And sometimes lang, this is just my personal opinion,
Yeah.
when there are a lot of substitutions, it also gets confusing for some of the attackers on the floor.
Yeah. A while ago, I'm not sure if I saw correctly also, nung pinasok si Jewel Asia, he had a short stint in set number 2, but when he was gonna be subbed out, parang sumigna siya na, teka lang, bigyan mo pa ako ng couple of opportunities because maybe these players also gusto nila makabawi eh.
Yeah.
They want to get a bit of more time to show what they can do on the floor. But let's see if that's something that they can work with later on as we first take this break after this first technical timeout. We'll be back here on One Sports. The report on the Navy side mula kay Ayana Perlas. Ayana?
If there's one thing Team Manager Ping urges her Navy Sea Lions to do, it's to enjoy every game. Because if you enjoy, then communication in the game will follow. Now, also, Team Manager Ping actually shared with me that she loves the commitment and the passion that her team shows every day. Pag walang training, the team still chooses to gather and work to get better. Now, after training, the whole team still chooses to do extra work, whether it's lifts or skills, and we can see how this truly serves them in today's match. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. Extra work paying off for the Navy Sea Lions. And if you just tuned in, you missed the top of the coverage. Yung set number 1, nabanggit dyan ni Ayana na yung team manager ng Navy nagsabi mismo na may pa-bonus if they do get the win here. And even Neil, as a former player, said that if you're playing for something like that, you will be inspired to play well, di ba? Pag may mga ganyang incentive, kumbaga.
And look at the blocking of Navy. They're already identifying kung kailan pupunta sa middle blockers yung signal and kailan pupunta sa wings. And yung pagiging systematic, mas nakikita ko ngayon sa Navy compared sa Signal. And Signal again has been
Another one.
so many unforced errors of their attacks.
It's like, I'm sure that the Navy Sea Lions did their homework in scouting itong Signal in their past games. It seemed like in set number 1, as you take a look at their team manager, in set number 1. Mukhang basang-basa ng Signal yung Navy because we mentioned si Umandal will be the man who is marked.
Yeah.
And then eventually in set number 2, na-adjust yan ng Sea Lions and they're picking up from where they left off here in set number 3.
And Ramirez is also one of the new faces in this roster of Signal. So he got his first point pagkapasok pa lang. So that, hopefully that can start something for Signal. Umandal throws that one away, but they have a luxury of a 6-point lead.
Oo.
And so far, sila lang yung team na nakaset against Signal. All of the 3 matches before of Signal ended up in straight sets.
That's right. So the first set dropped by the Signal HD Spikers happened in this game. And not just that, of course, the Navy Sea Lions will look to be the first team also to put a mark on the loss column nitong Signal HD Spikers. Chows at the net. Overreaching ang tatawag kay Umandal.
Asia was still trying to set that up. Papunta sa teammate niya, but Umandal clearly got in the way. Although it looked like nauna si Chow. Again, these things happen so fast.
Real time kasi, it's hard to see. This time, still no. That's another point because it's a net violation for Umandal. That's back-to-back errors para kay Jao Umandal.
Yup, he clipped the nape of the net and he also scraped the other parts of the net. Pero sobrang bilis nung arm swing kasi so hindi mo mamamalaya na nahawakan ko na pala yung net.
Sa slow-mo mo lang mapapansin. And 3 straight points now for the HD Spikers. Coach Cecil Cruzad will talk things over. Trying to end this run by Signal. Let's listen in.
Compose, pre. Compose. Compose ulit, pre.
Drop ulit, ring
Hey.
Nawala kayo, nawala.
Walang mabigat. Pero tatlo naman natin, oh. Isang pasa lang, tapos saka tayo sigurado, ha?
Sila yung ulit natin.
Tayo natin ulit. Sa akin yun. Vince, mabuti.
Okay. Double na rin.
Kala ng tao.
Recruit tayo. Dalawa lang, isang ikot pa. Okay lang.
Wala na, enjoy tayo. Walang may magkita.
Time out there by Navy Sea Lions, and you like how EJ Casania was very vocal in that huddle kneel. Nabanggit niya when he was player of the game for one of the matches nitong Navy Sea Lions. He's playing with his kuyas who are part of the national team, and it is an adjustment for him, but he sees it as a luxury dahil marami siyang options.
Yeah.
And he's urging his teammates na they're up by 3 points, so dapat sa kanila yung momentum.
And yung teammates ni Jay Casania, veterans na eh. So in terms of age, he might be one of the youngest on the floor, but you can see how they respect the skills of EJ Casania as well.
That's right.
Na kahit na mas bata, very vocal pa rin siya in giving instructions, especially to his attackers. And that's a healthy kind of relationship in a team dynamic na walang seniority in a sense.
Yeah.
Na you have to give an opportunity for your youngsters on the floor. Lalo na pag nasa starting unit sila to voice out kung ano yung sa tingin nilang makakatulong dun sa team.
As a former player, Neil, how would you see that in terms of team dynamics? As you see, Louis Ramirez, one of the newcomers here sa Signal, getting that attack in. How does that work in a team dynamic na, syempre, parati yan, you have seniors, you have your rookies. Would you more than often allow them to voice out, or would you prefer pa rin na may mga leaders kayong designated to be the ones leading the team?
Meron talagang mga designated leaders, but then again, everybody can contribute basta nasa lugar. Because I remember when I was in my senior year, Mark Espero was in his rookie year, but he was, alam mo yun, hindi siya natatakot to also voice out pag may mga pagkakamali on the floor, yung mga adjustments na kailangan magawa.
And look what happened to him. He just blossomed in his career. And Louis Ramirez already has 2 points for Signal.
He is a high leaper. Make that 3 points.
Yep.
Rather for Louie Ramirez. Meron palang tinatago pa si Coach Dex dito sa bench nila.
Sa kakashuffle niya, biglang may mga nabubunot pa palang kakaibang weapons. Itong Signal, Marcelino. Put up by Montero. And the attack of Espejo gives them a point. Was too strong for Lorenzo.
That's the Mark Espejo that we all know.
And he knows also what he is capable of doing. Neil, kaya nakita natin siya when he had a string of errors. Medyo naging frustrated siya, but we know that he can easily bounce back in his performance. Casania goes to Kiel. Return to the Navy side. EJ to Marcelino. Blockers were there. Here comes Espejo. And he puts it away.
Now that's back-to-back points for Mark Espejo. Once he gets his range and the power na hinahanap niya, that's the time that he builds on his production.
Can this be the combination that will lead Signal in this comeback in set number 3? We'll find out. Kiel again picked up by Asia. Espejo for another one. Ramirez almost got it. Hindi lang niya naiangat, no? But he was there on that right spot.
But it's shaping up to be a more competitive set here in this third frame dip, and the fans are enjoying it here in the venue.
Asia goes to Chu. Does not work. EJ upset, combination play. And naiwan ni Montero yung bola on the left. Na misdirect because of the touches. The touch of the blockers rather. See this one again. Service error on the part of Navy. Gives another free point to Signal.
Halos lahat ng players pala sa bench ng Signal na gamit na ni Coach Dex. Ang hindi na lang natin nakikita on the floor sa Alfred Valbuena and Peter Torres. So we might just see them later on in this ball game. But for now, Signal has to focus on getting that lead back because they're still down by 2. And Peter Kiel continues to sizzle for the Sea Lions.
And they send us to the second technical timeout. They're up 16-13. We'll be back here on One Sports. Events and Sports Center in Manila of what continues to be a tight match between the Signal HD Spikers and the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Peter Kiel getting that point for a 3-point lead para sa Navy. And it will be Christian Marcelino heading to the service line. 16 serving 13. Kalingking sets it up to Dolor. Easy over here. Asia goes for the quick. That is sent back by the blockers of Navy.
Great anticipation for Peter Kiel and Jao Mandal. Double block established against JP Bugawan. And that is the right decision to make. Magko-commit ka talaga every time nakikita mo na uma-approach itong si JP Bugawan. Yun nga lang, double effort.
Net violation given up here by Navy. And the lead is back down to 3 points. And Navy gets a point. They continue to vary their attacks. Hindi na masyado nababasa ng Signal here in set number 3.
Navy already has 4 block points here in set number 3. Signal, wala pa. And they really have to get this set against the HD Spikers because that has been their goal to begin with, to pressure Signal to sa isang posisyon na mahihirapan sila. And when you get Signal down by 1 set more, yun yung gusto nila para makuha yung win na to.
Pero hindi naman kailangan ha? Okay, magandang pasa lang, frontend ka, di ba? O may 5 ka, nagpa-5 to, may 8 ka rin. Kakaintindihan, pag nandoon, mag-8, pag nandito, pag maganda yung receipt, nababasa mo eh. O i-open mo na, o hiwalay mo, pins na, ibigay kita dito eh, ha? Okay, habulin natin, let's go!
Signal!
Pasok!
Signal!
You heard a timeout from Coach Dexter Clamor. And Neil, I wanted to ask you, kasi Signal hasn't been in this position in their past 3 games na tabla yung set because they haven't dropped a set prior to this match against Navy. So is that a factor na parang, okay, first time natin experience, especially after the 3-year break? Akala natin na parang it's gonna be an easy breeze through the rest of the games, but here's Navy challenging them.
It can be a factor, but they've been in tougher situations in the previous na mga editions of the Spikers Turf. And again, they're all veterans. I mean, yung brand ng Signal, di ba, parang super power team na nga. So when we talk about in-game adjustments, that should be a no-brainer for the HD Spikers. But for now, we have to give all the credit to the Sea Lions because they have been showing us na ito yung result nung hard training nila and yung extra work na nilalagay nila. And like Joshua Mandal, he has been lifting weights before the game and we don't do that, ha? I mean, nakakapagod yun that you lift weights in the morning, then you go to a game in the afternoon and you do that all over again. But you see the commitment dito sa Sea Lions.
I'm not sure if there's any other sport who would advise you to lift before a game kasi even in basketball, diba, mag-iiba yung release mo ng bola and pretty sure yung palo mo can also change. But if it works for Jao, then by all means, keep doing it. And Injiga comes back in the game para kay Wendell Miguel. Five points ang hinahabol dito ng Signal HD Spikers. Casania upset to Dolor. That is out.
Again, the magic number for that win-loss card would be 3 or 4 para lang safe entering the semifinals. There's no advantage because we will be going through another single round robin dun sa ating next round of competition. But still, you would want to sneak in as many wins as you can para when the time comes that you face your opponent once again, yung psychological factor, natalo na natin to before, will help them.
And as you mentioned, Neil, it's a fast-paced tournament. We're already halfway through. Itong ating schedule in the elimination round before we head into the single round robin semifinals. And as you mentioned, after that, top 2 in the semis will enter the championship. Bottom 2 will play for bronze. And Ramirez continues to get his points delivered for Signal.
Actually, out of all the attackers on the floor right now, si Ramirez yung pinaka-malinis when it comes to getting that kill.
Inaangat niya yung efficiency ng Signal, no, from set number 2.
From 17%.
That's right. And that's what we've been mentioning a while ago, the errors in terms of spiking para sa Signal has not helped them at all. The Navy Sea Lions just 2 points away from taking a 2-1 advantage. The powerful hit mula kay Isay Marasigan keeps them alive.
And that's more like it from the team captain. And we're looking for more consistency dito kay Isay Marasigan. He was the best player in terms of points in their last outing.
Ramirez will serve 19-23. Chance here for the HG Spikers. Espejo. Umandal pops it up. Marcelino goes up. And down it goes.
Still no solution for that Marcelino hit.
And the PGJC Navy Sea Lions are once again at set point. Doing what no other team has done so far dito sa ating open conference in this year's edition. Take a look at this once again. Marcelino.
I told you, Dip, iba talaga pag may incentive.
Oh, we're gonna have to ask them later on. Ano ba yung incentive na yan? Bakit sobrang ginagalingan nyo as we listen into this timeout?
Siksik mo na dito. Back week, 5. Sino, Sandy? Dito ba banda yung receive? O kaya na ni Mark yan? Single block. So banda dito yung receive. Again, back week, 40 niya rin yan. Okay? Sabihan mo rin siya pag wala. Okay? Sabihan mo pag hindi ka sasabayan. Okay? So back week, 5 dito na kay Mark. 5-5 ka rin dito. Kay Louie. Nakaintindihan? O pwede mo ibigay din kay Louie, ha? Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hey, signal! Also, signal! What the hell?
Timeout called by Signal there as they try to come back here in the third set. They're down by 5 points. Same type of situation in set number 2 where they lost 19-25. Let's see if Navy can finish this one off. Asia upset. Espejo will score off the block.
One-on-one against Greg Dolor in that last sequence.
But there was also a net touch actually on the side of Navy. So apat ang habulan dito ng Signal. And Jigha will have to serve flawlessly. Casanya to Dolor for the finish. Marasigan had a touch on it. Second try for the Sea Lions. Here comes Marcelino and he puts it away. Oh, but no. Second referee says there's a net touch. Hold on.
Based on our angle, that looked like a clean point for the Sea Lions.
And they were celebrating too. We will see what that was. We all thought that it was a point for the Navy Sea Lions, but the second referee says may net violation muna. So hindi pa raw tapos itong set 3.
And sabi nga nung first referee, it was the call of the second referee who was right in front of that last play. So of course, he has to trust the second referee on that call. Lalo na't pag hindi naman niya nakita.
Another angle is behind the second referee, so surely mas malapit itong vantage point ng ating second referee, but it will be an extension. Take a look at this replay natin closely. So his face actually grazed the net before it landed outside.
Yeah.
That was a very close one. And we listen into this timeout.
That was a tough call for the Sea Lions, but
That is in para kay Mark Espejo. And Signal with 3 straight points.
They still have 2 chances to end this one though. They just need to get one good pass. They have good attackers on the floor. They have Kiel, Marcelino, and Greg Dolor here in the left pin.
Ooh, and I was about to say the pressure was on para kay Injigha. He was serving flawlessly before that, but he was getting closer to tying this game up, and of course, added pressure yan para sa server as the Navy Sea Lions take a 2-1 set advantage in this matchup. We'll be back here on One Sports.
Hi, I'm Manuel Sumanggid III, libero of the Signal HD Spikers. This is Spikers Turf Match Point. I think the Navy Sea Lions kasi most of the core players of that team, teammates ko nung national team last 2021. Well, unang-una syempre ang Phenom, Mark Espejo. Matagal ko na siya naging teammate since college and I'm very pleased to get all his spikes. Probably si Joshua Retamar. Iba rin kasi yung libero-setter connection and I really want to maximize that big setter like Joshua Retamar of the NU Bulldogs.
Back inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center, and you're still watching us live on One Sports and on One Sports Plus. Dip Dipianco and Neil Flores calling this match. And the Navy Sea Lions are actually up 2-1 against the Signal HD Spikers prior to this game. Signal is undefeated. They haven't dropped a set, but right now, Navy has taken 2 against them. What has worked well para sa Sea Lions so far in this match, Neil?
Defensively, the Sea Lions were just better compared to the Signal HD Spikers in set number 3. Again, same distribution from set number 2. EJ Casanya doing a wonderful job. And sinusuklian yon ng mga attackers on the floor for PGJC Navy. And now they're up by 2-1 against the undefeated Signal HD Spikers.
And we are seeing the highlights of what happened in that third set. The errors again by Signal and the absence of their blocking. Yun yung tumulong dito sa Navy Sea Lions get that win. Ito naman yung mga numbers in that set number 3.
Signal was able to regain their composure in the attacking department by scoring 3 more compared to the Sea Lions. But Navy got 4 big blocks against the Signal HD Spikers in that specific set. That's why they're up by 2 sets.
You see 0-0 in the blocks and services of the HD Spikers, which will have to be different if they want to try and extend this to a 5th set. And we are now live for the 4th set. Navy once again gets the first point to start us off. The man on your screen is Christian Marcelino. Has really stepped up to the plate in the absence of Joven de la Vega. Not that time around with that error. So that gives the first point para sa Signal here in set number 4. Speaking of stepping up, ito ring si Louis Ramirez para sa HC Spikers. Coming off the bench. Umandal.
Kinakita mo yung mga antics ng mga liberos dito sa men's division.
May konting baon na jokes itong si Vince Lorenzo.
They love doing that. I mean, not just Lorenzo, but also Manuel Sumanggit on the other side.
And this time, it's going to be a point for Isay Marasigan. Rexintal is also starting this set after sitting majority of that set number 3. Got an ace a while ago. Casania to Umandal, and this time he scores.
Money play as always for Jao Mandal. And now Signal must realize that in set number 3, they didn't get any block points against the Sea Lions. And now Jao Mandal getting a lot of clean hits from that same angle. That is already a signal in itself that you have to go for your 3-man block. It's either you go for your 3-man block or you leave that zone 1 area.
Isay Marasigan has been answering back with a couple of points.
Now it's crunch time for the HD Spikers. Again, as you said, this is unfamiliar territory so far here in this edition of the Spikers turf. And they did commit 10 errors apiece, talking about both of these teams.
1 point lead for the Navy Sea Lions. Umandal at the back row with a service. Ooh, that works para kay Bugawan. Again, Suarez to Bugawan, which was mentioned by Neil a while ago. Dating back to their college days, they have been working together. Rosales with a clean attack. One of those 3 players who scored in double digits against the Army Katingko Troopers in their last game, Roniel Rosales.
And again, there was no blocker to defend that slide attack. And Ramirez already saw Rosales going for that approach dun sa long running hit na yon.
Good dig there by Rosales. Umandal from the back. Sent back. And even Ramirez helping out in the blocking alongside Bugawan. 5-all here in set number 4. Marcelino was checked there. Suarez to Ramirez, who had to use his offhand and still able to get a point.
That's also one of the responsibilities of an outside hitter. You can be choosy with the set. Sometimes, yes, it's not your preferred height, not the preferred distance, pero pag na-set na yun, wala ka na rin kasi magagawa. So that was also a good adjustment on the side of Ramirez.
Rather than just let it be an error, no? You'll try to get a point off of it, and Peter Kiel gets one back.
Medyo mabagal yung reaction time ng blockers ng Signal in today's game against Navy. And that was an alarming stat sheet in set number 3. 0 aces, 0 blocks. But Ramirez will continue to score for the squad of Coach Dexter.
In terms of blocking coming into this game, Signal is at number 2 sa statistics ng blocking, averaging 3 blocks per set. But as you mentioned, 0 sila nung nakaraan. Peter Kiel with another point.
That jump set from EJ Casanya got the middle blockers, the blockers of Signal off timing. Ramirez is 6 for 7, 86% so far.
Wow. Does not get a lot of minutes, but does what he can to help his team out. Pero itong Navy Sea Lions will be the first one at 8.
down and reminded them to work collectively. Now, earlier before the game, the coaching staff actually admitted that sometimes the Signal HD Sparkers, it's hard for them to gel because of the strong individual skills each player has. Now, it was also seen in the huddle that Captain Isay Marasigan's ankle was starting to hurt again, and every time he jumps, sumasakit daw. Kaya with this, he asked his teammates to show initiative and to step up in this set. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana, for that report. Again on cue, speaking of stepping up, Louis Ramirez coming off perpetual help, playing in college, and now taking it here in the Signal HD Spikers, helping his team.
Parang iniintay niya lang talaga yung moment na mabigyan siya ng opportunity ni Coach Dex.
Yeah.
To showcase his talent on the floor. Now, Navy is still up by 1 point against the HD Spikers.
Not sure if he has seen action in the previous games. Parang hindi, the first time here in the Open Conference. But going back to that report of Ayana Neal, I wanted to ask, you've played for Ateneo back in college, a team of course na maraming great players. She was saying in that report na Signal is having a bit of an adjustment because of gelling, because ang daming superstar caliber, no? What do you think of that when you're a team filled with good talent? Syempre, usually we know na merong role players, pero paano kung lahat kayo starting yung laro nyo back in college?
That's actually something na kailangan pag-aralan pa ng Signal, because sometimes when you assemble a team na puro superstar, you would have to familiarize yourself not just with the roles, but also the personalities and their attitudes on how they play their game.
Right.
And that's something they will learn along the way.
And of course, these are players used to start their minutes when they were playing in their college days.
Kumbaga, skills, that's already out of the question. You know that these players will perform kasi nga star players sila. But again, how will they connect with each other? That's the bigger question every time you have these types of teams.
Early on, when Signal was assembled here in the Spikers turf, it wasn't like this. No, of course, you had like a couple of main gunners and those role players. But yun nga, this time it's assembled differently. A team that has a lot of big names from the national team as well. Montero keeps that ball alive, and Ramirez gets another point. You know who's pumped? Coach Dexter is pumped because ang ganda ng bunot niya kay Louis Ramirez.
Ang dami niya ng binunot, pero si Ramirez lang pala yung makakapagpalik ng momentum para sa Signal. And now, they're finally up by 2.
Kumbaga sa efficiency, 1 out of ilang bunot. Ilang bunot si Coach Dex. But he found the right one in Ramirez. They're up by 2. Umandal. Picked up by Marasigan. Suarez to Bugawan, and it works.
He got blocked a couple of times a while ago.
Timeout will be called by the Navy Sea Lions. Let's take a look at this once again. Bugawan went up and scored that point for Signal as we listen in to this timeout.
Focus natin, focus. Isang pasa. Putulin natin yung kurero natin. Tatlo lang yan. May pasa tayo. Dahan-dahanin natin. Huwag natin sila natin, dahan-dahan lang. Kailangan yung score nila, paghirapan nila, huwag natin ibigay. Repress tayo.
Tatlo lang yun, tatlo lang.
Go. Likod natin, pre. Dili! Press, go lang.
We heard the timeout mula sa PGJC Navy Sea Lions, and based on how this set is going, the momentum and energy is clearly with the Signal HD Spikers. Well, let's see if Navy can bounce back off of that timeout. Not much work needed as a free point given up with that error mula kay Isay Marasigan. So if you're Navy now, Neil, no, how do you close this one out against Signal, who of course alam natin yung capabilities nila to extend this? What do you do if you're the Sea Lions? Ano yung kailangan gawin to win it in set 4?
Well, for me, I'm a believer na non-negotiable na mag 5 sets pa once you're at that advantage already, because the momentum is really different once you enter the last frame.
Yeah.
Tapos against a strong attacking team pa. And now na mas malinis na yung nilalaro ng Signal, it's gonna be scary for the Sea Lions coming into the 5th set. And now you can hear the bench of Signal. They're finally cheering for their teammates. Tahimik sila kanina. And you only need Ramirez on your side to get set number 4 for Signal.
A monster block coming from Louie Ramirez. Nakita niya yung stat sheet, 0 yan nung set 3. Sabi niya, bigyan natin ng blocks itong Signal. And they're up by 4 points. But you're right, no? I mean, I'm not sure about the statistics and the numbers, Neil, as Marcelino sends that out. But first, we reach the second technical timeout. Signal up by 5 here in set number 4. We'll be back here on One Sports. For Signal, but given the time here, and he's making the most out of it, Neil, you've got the numbers para kay Louie Ramirez.
8 out of 9 attacks, 89% plus 2 blocks. So with the limited minutes that he was given by Coach Dexter, he has already produced a massive 10 points so far for the HD Spikers.
Not part of any top 10 in categories. Pero nagpapakilala in this game, Mark Espejo with a service ace. And now a 6-point lead for the HG Spikers. (17 serving 11), the biggest lead so far in set number 4. Let's back-to-back para kay Espejo.
Changing the speed and power of his serve. I didn't think that was intentional, but that will still give Signal their 18th point here in set number 4.
Coach Cecil Cruzad will use her final timeout here in the 4th set.
Tara. Mangat lang, pre. Mangat lang. Walang problema.
Kaya nasabi ko, ba't tayo?
Siglis yan, pinapost ko dito.
Wala na yun.
Nasa harapan nyo,
Dumikit lang, dumikit kayo na. Dumikit kayo.
Go, hilaban natin.
Kuha ulit tayo momentum, ha?
Ayan, sa momentum. Ha?
Hindi kayo sa labas. Ready kayo.
And a timeout call there by the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Mark Espejo with back-to-back service aces. With 14 points in total. Let's see if Navy can bounce back. Yes, no, they don't, because Bugawan was able to get that powerful hit.
Kanina nakikita natin nag-a-adjust pa si Bugawan depending on the height of the set given to him, but this time around he made sure that he went for all power.
Oh, this time around, an error para kay Mark Espejo. Suarez, upset to Ramirez. Rosales was there, Dolor. And nobody there to pick up that ball. And don't look now, it's the biggest lead of the match. 8 points ang abante ng Signal HD Spikers. Casania had to chase that a bit. Umandal, straight to Bugawan, and that's a point.
Still a 7-point lead though for the HD Spikers. Oh, it's Peter Torres in for the very first time. So isa na lang ang hindi natin nakikita sa bench ng Signal in today's matchup.
Medyo malamig pa si Peter Torres sending that out. Suarez to Ramirez. Has been checked the past couple of attacks. Marcelino.
There was a net touch. Suarez was contesting that call from the second referee, pero kita-kita natin dip gumalaw talaga yung net.
Oo. And these players will never admit those violations. And partly because of the adrenaline, no, hindi na nila minsan nararamdaman yan. This time, Signal will call for time.
Si Luis na dito. Okay? Pag sinabayan si Pedro, tignan, silip ka rin. Pag dumidikit kay Peter, mag-iwan ka dito ng 5. Okay? Meron ka rin ditong 8. Pero pag magandang receive, running short. Okay? Pag misreceive, kaya na ni Louie yan. Okay, dito yan. Okay? Pag dinikitan si Peter dalawa, iwanan mo sa 5. Hey! Mag-estimulahin sa magandang pasa.
Let's go! Signal! Signal! Guys, sign up muna.
Still a 5-point lead for the HG Spikers. But the Navy Sea Lions, after being down by 8, has scored 3 straight. Sent back once again. Here's Ramirez, blocked by Kiel and Dolor. You mentioned the numbers a while ago, Neil, no, yung efficiency ni Ramirez. But after that, sunod-sunod na blockers nasa harapan ni Ramirez.
Of course, they can't let Ramirez have a field day in that position. So definitely they will load up dahil siya yung naging pinaka-consistent on the floor for Signal. And even though the Sea Lions are still down by 3 points right now, babalik na si Coach Dex to his regular rotation because he doesn't want to take any more chances for another Navy comeback.
Right. This was an 8-point lead just a while ago, Neil, before the timeout. But PGJC Navy, they've scored 5 straight. Can Signal end the run? Not just yet, says Kiel. Chance here for Navy. Casania to Marcelino. Back with him, second serving. Dolor, yes!
Now it's a 2-point ball game And this is what we live for, yung mga scores na super dikit. It gets so exciting.
Well, fans inside the venue are pumped. I'm sure the viewers are excited as well. Service ace para kay EJ Casania, and that's 7 straight points para sa Navy, Neil.
Hindi lang pala pressure blocking yung nasa game plan ng Sea Lions. Pressure serving also. Again, they have been targeting Mark Espejo in that position. Mark Espejo finding a way to save that botched pass.
A badly needed point for the Signal HD Spikers because Navy was like a freight train with those 7 straight points. Casania goes to Marcelino. Suarez gets a touch on that. Kept alive, but it's a point para sa Navy Sea Lions.
4 touches, I believe, says the first referee.
Isay Marasigan arguing with our first referee their case there. And this is now just a 1-point game. Navy Sea Lions serving with Christian Marcelino on deck, 20-21. Rejected there by Peter Kiel.
PGJC Navy taking up all the space in the blocking department. Single block against Ramirez.
Oh, that was Jao Umandal getting a touch on that, and we are tied at 21 all. Can Signal withstand this comeback?
Oh.
And who do they go to? None other than Mark Espejo.
Yan yung hinihintay ko. Yan yung Mark Espejo na kilala natin. That solid pipe attack from the back row.
Ramirez will get a much-deserved breather as Wendell Miguel is back in. But from the back row, Mark Espejo will take that point. Signal up by 1. Casania, inangat. Umandal will get that one. The Signal players saying that the ball was still good. They're fighting for every point right now, and why not? They want to extend this to a 5th set.
The score is 22 all.
22 all. Tuloy ang laro. Suarez. That is a point for Navy, and the Sea Lions will take the lead back against Signal. Oh, they climbed all the way down from 8 points. Lamang sila ngayon, tatawag ng timeout ang Signal HC Spikers.
Mark, simulan natin sa maayos na pasa. Mag-backwick na si Rex. Ano, Tom, coach Tom. Dalawa dito, di ba? Mag-backwick na si Rex, tapos 5 si Isay. Kaya na ni Mark yan. Kakanindahan, pasa lang tayo ng maayos. Okay, let's go.
Let's go! Hey, Signal! Signal!
Hindi natin kayang kontrolin yung tawagan natin.
Boy, oh boy, we got a matchup in our hands here inside the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. A lot of surprises. And this is one of those where PGJC just climbed all the way back after being down by 8 points.
Oh.
But Mark Espejo has other plans in mind. Mga namang walang lakad itong Signal after. Ito kasing Navy, baka may boys night out na hinihintay, di ba?
I mean, sometimes it really gets frustrating, lalo na if you don't get the calls that you want.
Yeah.
But again, you have all the tools in your arsenal to get the points back. So for Signal, they have to focus on every single point.
Rosales gets that point, and now the PGJC Navy Sea Lions are at match point. Can they be the first team to put a mark on the loss column of Signal? We'll find out. Good receive by Espejo. He goes for the attack. Kalingking was there. Casania to Umandal, and he puts it away.
And PGJC Navy will not only get this win, they will also get that additional incentive from their team manager.
Rightfully so, after defeating the undefeated Signal HG Spikers coming into this game. Panalo itong Navy against Army in their last game with a lot of momentum dun sa 29 points ni Jao Umandal. And in this game, EJ Casania activating the middle blockers, limiting the production of Signal's attackers, and getting this victory. Take a look at this once again.
Jao Umandal, how fitting of an end for PGJC Navy, being the first team to defeat the Signal HD Spikers here in the preliminary round of the Spikers Turf.
And if you're watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference, there's a lot of surprises that can happen here. PGJC Navy Sea Lions will win this one, and we'll be back to wrap this one up here on One Sports.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2022. That was the Navy Sea Lions versus the Signal HD Spikers, with the Navy Sea Lions defeating the undefeated in 4 sets. And joining me now is the best best player of the game, EJ Casanya. Kamusta, EJ?
Yun po, sobrang nakakapagod. Kasi inuus kasi namin lahat eh. Sobrang nakakapagod. Pero worth it naman. Sobrang
Definitely worth it kasi grabe, you defeated the undefeated,
Yun nga.
you won in 4 sets, and ikaw naman, you had 18 excellent sets and 5 points. So EJ, congratulations. I wanna know, syempre, back-to-back champions, undefeated sila. So paano ba kayo nag-prepare for today's game?
Yung naging mindset lang namin, focus lang, walang pressure. Kasi alam naman namin na lahat kami may ipe-perform sa loob ng court. So,
Yes.
ang ginawa namin mindset, champion team sila. So, hindi kami nagbigay ng pressure sa sarili namin.
Yes.
Nilaro lang namin yung ilalaro namin. Kasi enjoyment sa loob ng court.
Yes, sabi nga sa akin ng team manager niyo na si Miss Ping na dapat enjoy lang lagi yung games. And sinabi niya rin sa akin actually na nag-extra work kayo palagi. And I wanna know, ikaw naman, ano ba yung mga extra work na ginagawa mo on the court? Buhat ba or skills?
Ayun po, nagbubuhat po kami, nag-core, and nag-overload po ako sa setting. Kasi malam ko sa sarili ko na marami pa talagang kulang. Kaya tinatake advantage namin yung pag wala kaming ginagawa, nag-overload kami.
Yes, okay. Diba? Ito na, yung last question ko, EJ. Excited ka na ba sa bonus mo?
Sobrang excited na po.
Grabe, di ba? May motivation itong si EJ and the whole Navy Sea Lions. So once again, EJ, congratulations. Do you have any friends, family that you'd like to greet?
Una nga pala sa lahat, binabati ko yung besi ko, si Buro. Happy birthday, Buro! And binabati ko po yung manager namin, si Tita Ping and si Sir Dimax, yung coach namin, and yung lahat ng sumusuporta sa Team Navy and yung family ko dyan sa Las Piñas. Shoutout sa inyo, ma.
Napakasaya ng atmosphere dito with the Navy Sea Lions. Thank you so much for joining us here on Spikers Turf. Once again, that was Navy Sea Lions versus Signal HD Spikers in 4 sets. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ayana. And there you have it, the best player of the game, EJ Casanya. And celebration will still continue para sa Navy Sea Lions. Mukhang mahaba pa yung gabi nila, Neil.
It is going to be a long night for PGJC Navy at masarap yung magiging tulog nila as they get another win here in the preliminary round of our Spikers Turf. And that will push them in a very good position to secure their slot in the semifinals.
Right, as we take a look at the highlights in set number 4, it seemed like we were gonna go into a 5th set with how it was going. At the middle part, yung Signal, lumamang sila 20-12 in set number 4. But then, itong Navy Sea Lions did not give up, Neil. They scored 7 straight, which led to that comeback against Signal.
And this was the closest set that we had in the entire game, stats-wise also. Kasi makikita natin later kung gaano kakonte lang yung agwat ng Navy Sea Lions to actually secure set number 4. And again, they just played really better even without Joven de la Vega.
Right.
So that's something that they can be proud of. And I'm sure Joven de la Vega is also very happy because he's part of this team. So he will get that bonus as well.
Yun, at yung last point, courtesy of the #1 scorer so far in the tournament. That was Jao Umandal, and these were the numbers in set number 4.
They just had one more attack and one more serve, but that one serve was actually the biggest difference maker talaga in today's game. They were able to pressure Mark Espejo and all of the other wing hitters of Signal HD Spikers to get them out of system.
Ganun kalapit, no? You see the numbers, they don't lie to us. That's how close set 4 went between the Signal HD Spikers and the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. In our match summary in total, ito yung mga numbers in this match.
Signal only got 3 blocks compared to the 8 of PGJC Navy. They tried to compensate in the digging department. They got 35 compared to the 16, but this was primarily because they didn't have their blocking on point. And nag-give up pa yung Navy ng more errors, but they still ended up on top and won this in 4 sets.
Right, yung 3 blocks per set na average ng Signal, naging 3 blocks the entire game. And the Navy Sea Lions just did a great job in limiting itong Signal HD Spikers all throughout. And our tournament continues on Thursday, still here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. For the first match, it will be the Army Catinco Troopers against the Santa Rosa City Lions. And at 5:30 p.m., Signal HD Spikers will look to bounce back after tonight's loss. They will go up against the Ateneo Fudgy Bar Blue Eagles. And that does it for our coverage here on One Sports. On behalf of Ayana Perlas, my partner Neil Flores, my name is Dip Dipianco, saying thank you for watching the 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference.